Now, what was the social structure? Okay, now if we need to talk about the social now, just now we talked about the division of the different regions. Okay, but when we come on the society, we need to see how the families were being established, how each individual had to share their own values and livelihood. So here the brahmanas, okay, were present in the courts. So yes, of course, the priestly system, okay, the priestly system was still being counted. Okay, the priestly system was still being counted, and they were the major advisors to the rulers. So here the feudal elements were still present in the South India. After that, there were also landless laborers, okay, landless laborers such as Kadaisiar Adimai, who included the slavery. So yes, slavery system was also being present. Now, as slavery system would be present, it's but obvious that the occupation was majorly the primary occupation. Okay, so this if wherever there is slavery system, just take into consideration that the primary occupation is more in that particular region, or the primary activities are major source of revenue or the major source of income for those peoples. Okay, so there are tribal groups like the Parthavar, Panar, Ainar, Kadambar, Marwar, Pulayar, Thodas, Irulas, Nagas. So here Nagas are also present. These Nagas are different from the northeastern Nagas, and the Vedars, who form the part of the society. So again, the deserted areas had their own, deserted plus the forest areas had their own tribal society. Now, although the tribal society was different in the deserted area and the forested area, but the tribals were taken as the slaves in the kingdoms. Okay, so migration was also present, that is from rural to urban. Yes, after that the political organization was also the hierarchical kind of organization. Okay, that is also the second reason why slavery was still being prevalent in Sangam age. Now after that, we see that the Sangam literature included the woman participation too. So that is why women had at least a good position during the Sangam period. That is the conclusion of the social status. Okay, after that there were also some of the famous poets. Now in UPSC preliminary examination 2024, the question was asked based on the names of the women poets of the Sangam literature. Okay, so who were the women poets? Avayar, Nacheliar, and the Kakai Padiniyar contributed immensely to the Tamil literature. Beyond that, the Sangam literature also talks about the kinship relations. Okay, so the polygamy was, of course, being followed, as I told you in one of the story. After that, love marriages were common. So here you can say that they were having their own independence to marry their own choices. Okay, so which was absent in the Gupta period in northern India. Okay, after that the woman had autonomy to choose their life partners, which was again absent during the Gupta period. So these are some of the social differences which you will see between North and South India. Okay, now after this, there were some of the virtues that were being followed. So first, Karpu, okay, Karpu was regarded as the highest virtue for the woman. Okay, which emphasized the purity and the loyalty towards the family, towards the society as well. Okay, so here orthodox orthodox system was still being prevalent. Okay, you can say that orthodox system was still prevalent. orthodox system was still being prevalent. After that, widowhood was also being present. That is, the widows used to face a number of challenges in the society. For example, in Sangam period, we'll get the evidences of the Sati Pratha. Okay, now what is Sati Pratha? Once the husband dies, the woman has to get into that funeral or the fire and end her life immediately after the husband, okay, without leaving any stress. Okay, so here the Sati Pratha, okay, Sati Pratha is termed as the Tippayadal. Now Sati Pratha is called as a Tippayadal, that is self immolation. Okay, it was prevalent in the higher classes, though it was not widespread, but it was present in the higher classes. Okay, so as like the Varna system, in the Sangam period also they had their own kind of Varna system. Okay, so in Varna system, the topmost were the Brahmins, right? The topmost were the Brahmins. But in Sangam period, the topmost were the Kshatriyas. Okay, after that, there were the priestly classes, that is Brahmins. Okay, after that, the Vaishyas and the Shudras. Okay, so this was a difference in the Sangam age. Just these two are interchanged. Okay, so the Sati Pratha was being carried out, or the widowhood, widows faced the social ostracism or the social challenges to live freely, to dwell freely in the society. Okay, after that, when we talk about the religion, okay, when we talk about the religion, we see that they used to worship the natural gods. Okay, they used to worship natural gods. For example, if the farmer has to pray to the god, he has to pray it to the Indradev. Okay, Indradev or the Indiradev. Okay, so depending upon the occupation, the gods were being worshipped. Okay, so after that, the nature first is nature worship. What is Indra? Nature worship, right? And the animals were also being worshipped. Now if you see the coins during the Sangam period, they talk many things about this animism. Okay, animals were being worshipped. Now for example, if you see in northern India, cows were being worshipped. Okay, so similar way in southern India, the animals were worshipped, like for example tiger. Okay, for example, you can say about the cows were also worshipped. Okay, so these are some of the examples. After that, Murugan god. Murugan god was the primary deity, okay, which used to reside at the hills. Okay, so at the top of the hills, Murugan lives. Okay, now who is the Murugan? It is one form of the Vishnu only. Okay, it is one form of the Vishnu only. So Murugan god was being majorly worshipped, and there were after that there were other deities also. One, the Mayon, that is also another form of Vishnu only. After that, Indra and Varuna. So here Indra and Varuna are the natural gods or the nature based gods. Okay, so here the animals as well as the nature is being worshipped.